Welcome back to Glow and Flow Radio, the space where women unlearn survival mode and remember how to breathe again. Today's episode is one I want you to listen to without multitasking. So, if you're currently completing tasks on your to do list, I'd like for you to take a break or pause this video until you have a moment to just be and listen. Not while folding laundry, not while answering emails, not while proving your worth to the world. Just listen. Because today we're talking about rest, not as a reward, not as something you earn after exhaustion, but as something you are allowed to have right now. This episode is called Rethinking Rest: Why Productivity Culture Keeps Us Stuck. And if you're a woman who has been conditioned to put everyone else first, if you feel guilty when you slow down, if you're tired but can't seem to stop pushing, this episode is for you. Now let's name the elephant in the room. We live in a culture that worships productivity. Busy is praised, exhaustion is normalized, rest is treated like laziness. Somewhere along the way, we were taught this lie. If you're not doing more, you're falling behind. It has been ingrained in us that we must constantly be in motion, constantly on go. And women, we absorb that message deeply. We're praised for being strong, for holding it together, for being everything to everyone. But here's the part no one says out loud. Productivity culture doesn't just keep us busy. It keeps us disconnected from our bodies. When your value is tied to output, your body becomes something to override instead of listen to. This looks like tired, well, push through. Overwhelmed, do more. Stressed, just be stronger. This is what being disconnected and not listening to our bodies looks like. And that constant override comes at a cost. Let's talk physiology for a moment. No jargon, just truth. When you're under chronic stress, your body stays in fight or flight mode. That means your cortisol levels are elevated, poor sleep, blood sugar swings, constant fatigue, increased cravings for quick energy. And guess what often shows up alongside that? Emotional eating. Not because you lack discipline, not because something is wrong with you. It is nothing to be ashamed of. It is your body trying to communicate with you because your body is exhausted and searching for relief. Food becomes one of the fastest ways to self-soothe when rest feels unavailable, unsafe, or worse yet, unearned. Let me say this as plainly as I can. You do not need to earn rest. Rest is required by our bodies. It's physiological and a requirement for optimal health. So if you've ever eaten when you weren't hungry after a long, draining day, that was not failure on your part. That was your body asking for rest in the only way it knew how. And our body, again, our bodies will give us cues. It will tell you that it's lacking, sometimes in the way that we would not like for it to, but your body is smart and it will let you know. So here is where I want to gently but firmly challenge the narrative. Rest is not laziness. Rest is not weakness. And rest is not quitting. For women who have been conditioned to overdo, overgive, and overproduce, rest is resistance to the rest is laziness, and we must always be moving the needle narrative. It's saying, I don't need to burn myself out to be worthy. It's saying my body is not a machine. It's also saying I choose sustainability over survival. And I want you to hear this clearly. You do not need to hit rock bottom to slow down. Please don't do that. You do not need to break down. And you don't need a diagnosis. And you certainly don't need permission from anyone else. You are allowed to rest before you're depleted. I had a coworker some time ago who was off for the holidays with her family. They were sitting around playing a card game, having a good time by all accounts. And this coworker, she fell out dead due to a brain aneurysm right there. She was only in her 30s. I had another coworker who recently had a stroke due to stress and grief. She's getting better, but she also lost her livelihood along with that. Now, I cannot attest to the amount of rest these two women partook in, but I can say that we need to listen to the cues that our bodies provide us, take care of ourselves, and recognize that rest is part of that care. Let's redefine rest in a way that actually works for real life. Rest doesn't have to look like a perfect morning routine. Although morning routines are wonderful for setting the tone for the day and battling stress, rest does not have to be perfect. It does not have to look like a silent retreat or a full day off from work or other commitments. These things have their place, but sometimes rest looks like saying no without explaining. Learn to be comfortable with saying no for your own benefit. It's not selfish, it is self-care. Rest can look like sitting down before your body forces you to. It's like the examples that I provided about my coworkers. Again, I cannot speak to the amount of rest that they were getting, but I can say that we need to listen to our bodies and the cues it gives us and take care of ourselves, which includes rest. You need to get adequate rest. Rest can look like eating without multitasking. Sit down, enjoy your food. Take your time. Enjoy the company that you have if you have it, and not be plugged into your phone while you're trying to eat and take in your nourishment. Rest can look like going to bed earlier instead of just pushing through. Letting one thing remain undone can be restful. It is okay if you do not get everything completed on your to-do list for today. Just be grateful for what you were able to accomplish and give yourself grace for those things that you weren't able to get done today. Give yourself permission not to be perfect. Please do that. Again, I say, give yourself permission not to be perfect. Give yourself permission not to be Superwoman. Here are a few permission statements I want you to try. Repeat after me, silently or aloud. I'm not, I'm sorry, I'm allowed to slow down even if nothing is wrong. You don't have to have something going on. You don't have to be sick. You don't have to, have a headache. You don't have to have any ailments going on for you to slow down. You want to um, prevent ailments, not wait until they occur for you to slow down and rest. Repeat after me. I do not have to earn rest by being exhausted. You don't get any trophies for being exhausted. And in some cases, you can be so exhausted that you develop health issues, and your award is losing your job, the job that you've overproduced for, that you've been burnt out over. So again, you do not need to earn rest by being exhausted. Another permission statement: rest supports my mental health and my physical health. When I rest, I reduce stress, and my relationship with food becomes gentler. Be sure to repeat these to yourself regularly until it is ingrained within you. Again, it's 4 statements. 1, I'm allowed to slow down even if nothing is wrong. 2, I don't have to earn rest by being exhausted. 3, rest supports my mental health and my physical health. And 4, when I rest, I reduce stress, and my relationship with food becomes gentler. Basically, it improves. Rest isn't something you add to your to-do list. It's something you allow so your body functions optimally. When you rest consistently, not perfectly, again, we're not aiming for perfection, your nervous system begins to regulate. Stress hormone levels are reduced. Cravings become quieter. Your body feels safer. And when your body feels safe, you don't need to numb, distract, or override its signals as often. This is where real healing starts. Not through more discipline, not through stricter rules, but through listening. Rest isn't the opposite of productivity, it's the foundation of sustainable energy. If you want to be more productive, then you have to rest. Before we close, I want to pause just for a moment. Take a deep breath in and slowly release, and ask yourself, where am I pushing through when I really need to call it a day? You don't have to change everything today. Remember, small steps. We start small and build. You don't have to quit hustle culture overnight, but you can start questioning it. And that alone is powerful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing yourself, even in small ways, such as listening to this podcast. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with a woman who needs permission to rest too. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, and remember, you don't need to do more to be enough, and you definitely do not need to do more to rest.